What's going on, football world? It's Carter with X's and O's, and as you can see from the top left of the title, I'm going to talk about converting a 4-3 over defensive front into a 52 over defensive front. Let me finish off by starting out by drawing my offensive formation, which I am drawing a pro style I formation. Very simple, easy to draw diagrams off of. Let's start by filling in a defense. Let's divide the offensive line down the center to designate strength. Because and when we divide that down the center, we look to the left, there's a guard and a tackle. We look to the right, there is a guard, tackle, and tight end. And so therefore, coming out of the huddle, the defensive player responsible for designated strength will call a right call, which would put the 5 technique in a weak side C gap, a 1 technique in a weak side A gap, 3 technique over, hence the terminology 4-3 over the designated strong side offensive guard, responsible for the strong side B gap, and the 9 technique would align outside shade of the tight end or the Y receiver, responsible for the strong side D gap. Second level players, Will would be in a 53. That's how I like to align them. You can play with that a little bit. Mike in a 15, 1 technique 5 yards off the ball, and a Sam in a 53, 5 technique 3 yards off the ball. Your corner would be somewhere over the split, and the flanker, your free safety, would be somewhere in the weak side alley, strong safety somewhere in the strong side alley. And so that's kind of your 4-3 defensive alignment, 4-3 over defensive alignment. The 4 meaning that there are 4 first level players and 3 second level players, with the 3 technique over the designated strong side offensive guard. In the diagram up top here, the Will pre-snap is responsible for the weak side B gap. The Mike is responsible for the strong side A gap. And Sam is responsible for the strong side C gap. What we're going to talk about now is converting the 4-3 over into a 52 over with the same personnel we now have on the screen. And so I'm going to draw another offensive formation. We will keep the same offensive formation, which will be a pro style I formation. Put the Z out there, X, Y, Z, quarterback, fullback, tailback. We will put the 52 over front in X's and O's green. Again, coming out of the huddle, the defensive player who is responsible for designating strength would yell out right. 5 technique would go weak side again, responsible for the weak side C gap. 1 technique, weak side A gap. 3 technique, again, over, outside shade of the designated strong side offensive guard, responsible for the B gap, strong side B gap. And now, in order to change this from a 43 into a 52, we are going to kick the 9 technique down into a 5 technique. So that 9 technique is going to go play a 5 technique. Yes, that is a 5 technique. I'm keeping 9 on the screen to indicate weak side defensive end, strong side defensive end, but the 9 technique in this 52 over front is lined up in a 5 technique, and he is responsible now for the strong side C gap. The Sam backer is going to walk up onto the line of scrimmage and is now going to assume the responsibility of the 9 technique and is responsible for the D gap now. This is one of the benefits from creating a 4-3 over into a 52 over. Your 9 technique defensive end is going to be a pretty solid player, at least he should be. And if you're having troubles out of a 43 with the strong side C gap, you may want to go ahead and put your bigger, stronger player down in that C gap and control that C gap a little bit. And so plays aren't coming off tackle nearly as easy. And so that's one of the benefits from changing from a 4-3 over into a 52 over. Your second level players remaining, which would be your Will and your Mike, would both be in 35 techniques. 3 techniques, 5 yards off the ball. Again, your corner would cover a split, another corner over the flanker, free safety, weak side alley, strong safety, strong side alley. Gap responsibilities pre-snap for your Will and your Mike do not change pre-snap. Will is still responsible for the weak side B gap, and Mike is still responsible for the strong side A gap. Again, what is the benefit from running a 4-3 over versus a 52 over or a 52 defense of any kind? Well, in this situation, if you look at the top diagram, you can see that off of pre-snap alignment, there are 3 gaps open that second level players are responsible for, and versus the run, those 3 second level players would have to get downhill pretty quick in order to be solid against the run. Versus on the lower diagram, there are only 2 open gaps pre-snap alignment that second level players are responsible for. And so initially the offensive linemen are going to have to account for more first level players. Up top they only have to account for 4 first level players. On the bottom diagram they have to account for 5 first level players. And so a 52, generally speaking, is a little more solid versus the run. Again, they're both 7-man boxes. 4 plus 3 equals 7. 5 plus 2 equals 7. 7-man boxes aren't generally too terribly strong against the run. However, I do believe that a 52 defensive front is stronger versus the run versus a 43 in most cases. If you need to tighten up and make the box stronger in any of these defensive fronts, you may want to walk a safety down in some type of cover 3 look, and now just by walking a safety down into the box, you would now have created an 8-man box. So something for you to consider, but by keeping the same personnel on the field, you can simply change a 4-3 over into a 52 over. Again, 5 first level players, 2 second level players, and you're keeping that 3 technique over the strong side offensive guard, so therefore you have your over front. I hope this has been beneficial as always, and will make your enjoyment of the game grow because your knowledge is growing. And whether you are a player, coach, or parent, this will help you to enjoy the game of football that much more. If there are any topics that you would like me to discuss in my videos, please use the comment section below and or email me at xzandos.com, and I'll try to get those videos out to you as soon as I can moving into the future. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the next video. Thank you.